video, I'm here with players the Tennessee Titans should target in free agency. Now, Tennessee Titans, in my opinion, don't really have a lot of glaring needs. Probably the biggest need is a superstar edge rusher. I think not even a superstar edge rusher. They just need a good edge rusher. And here's the problem. The Tennessee Titans run a 3-4. It's not really a lot of good 3-4 edge rushers in free agency, in my opinion. Now, there are a lot of great 4-3 edge rushers. So, if the Tennessee Titans were to sign a great edge rusher in free agency, it's most likely going to be a guy who ends up playing in a 4-3, and I don't think there should be that big of a problem trying to move a guy from a 4-3 to a 3-4. I think it all depends on coaching. Now, we have seen players struggle in the past. They end up having to change defensive schemes, but I think if you have a good coaching staff, you should be able to plug and play almost any player. And the Tennessee Titans, I think Mike Vrabel and this coaching staff that Tennessee has is really on the red. I think they have a really good coaching staff, so I'm not really concerned about that. And the next thing they need, I think they could use another tight end. And before we even get into the needs, the Tennessee Titans have $50 million available in cap space. Now, of course, by the time free agency starts, a little bit of that is going to go down because they're going to have to end up re-signing Derrick Henry, who should be the #1 priority because he was the main reason why they went to the playoffs last season, had that big Cinderella playoff run going all the way into the AFC Championship game. Then, they also need to bring back offensive tackle Jack Conklin. Now, I think Jack Conklin is a really important piece of that Tennessee Titans offense because he is one of the best run-blocking offensive tackles that we have in the NFL, and I like his attitude. He's one of my favorite offensive linemen in the NFL. I like his attitude, his tenacity. He's also a really good pass blocker as well. And the last thing that we don't really know about is the quarterback position. So, based on reports and rumors is that Tennessee, if Tom Brady hits the free agent market, that Tennessee will pursue Tom Brady in free agency. So if they do that, they're going to lose a little bit more cap space as well. But if they don't get Tom Brady, they're most likely going to end up bringing back Ryan Tannehill. So by the time free agency really begins for the Tennessee Titans and they end up bringing back Derrick Henry and maybe they try to re-sign Jack Conklin, depending on what they want to do, they probably won't have a lot of cap space as they will originally start off with. So I'm estimating that they probably will have around $25 million in cap space by the time they end up making those moves, maybe a little bit less. So the first player that I have on this list, I have edge rusher Yannick Ngakoue. Now, before I continue on, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel because I upload NFL videos, college football videos, and XFL videos daily. Also, make sure that you please hit the like button because when you hit the like button, it helps this video rank higher in the YouTube search and with the YouTube algorithm and things like that. And also, it helps the channel grow. So please hit that like button. It doesn't take that long to do. It only takes like a split second. Now, back to why the Tennessee Titans should look to target Yannick Ngakoue in free agency. Now, Yannick Ngakoue in 2019 had 41 tackles, 8 sacks, and 1 interception. Now, like I said earlier, this is a 4-3 guy, but most of the best pass rushers in free agency this year are just good or coming from 4-3 defenses. So for the Tennessee Titans, they're going to have to convert him if they were to sign him from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Now, I think he will be able to make the transition. This guy is really big and really athletic. I actually met Yannick Ngakoue in person. This guy is absolutely huge, man. This guy's like, it's hard to describe, man. This guy's like the black version of Paul Bunyan. He's huge, he's massive, and I think he'll be a very good fit for the Tennessee Titans because the Tennessee Titans have a really physical and nasty defense when it comes to the front seven. And Yannick Ngakoue, man, will bring the Tennessee Titans some much-needed pass rush. I think Yannick Ngakoue is probably the second-best pass rusher entering free agency besides Jadeveon Clowney. Now, I will put Jadeveon Clowney on this list probably, but I already done used Jadeveon Clowney for almost nearly my whole entire videos for teams, players that teams should target in free agency. And I don't think Tennessee is going to have enough cap space to be able to give Jadeveon Clowney the salary that he's probably going to be wanting. And I don't really think Tennessee's going to want to have to overpay for a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. So Yannick Ngakoue is probably the next best thing. Next to Jadeveon Clowney. And Yannick Ngakoue, man, is a really physical specimen. He's big, he's physical. I think he fits right in along with that Tennessee Titans front seven because they have a lot of big and physical guys up front that can get after you. And I think Yannick Ngakoue would be a really good fit, man. He has good size, he has good length, he's also really fast, has a really good first step as well. And I think he'll be a really good addition, man. Like I said, he had 8 sacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars the previous year. And like I said, he's the second best pass rusher in free agency besides Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion. So I think they should look to go after him. And he will demand a pretty large salary, but I think it should be a little bit more affordable to comparing to what Jadeveon Clowney is probably going to make. Jadeveon Clowney is probably going to break the bank. He's probably going to get a very large charge. He's probably going to become the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL. So I think Yannick Ngakoue is just as good as Jadeveon Clowney, and I think he won't demand as much as a demanding contract like a guy like Clowney would demand. The next guy who the Tennessee Titans should look to target in free agency if they're not able to get Yannick Ngakoue is edge rusher Emmanuel Ogbah. Now, Emmanuel Ogbah got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs last season, the offseason from the Cleveland Browns. And he had a pretty solid season when he was able to stay on the field and stay healthy. He had 34 tackles, 5.5 sacks. Now, Emmanuel Ogbah is a guy who is also another 4-3 guy who, if the Tennessee Titans were to sign him, they would end up switching him to the 3-4 defense. So I think that Emmanuel Ogbah would be another good fit. Now, Emmanuel Ogbah, when he's able to stay healthy, I think he's really good. Now, one good thing about Emmanuel Ogbah not really being that healthy for the Kansas City Chiefs last season is that I think that's going to lower his asking price when it comes to negotiations. So the Tennessee Titans could end up walking away with Emmanuel Ogbah with a very good deal. And I think he's probably going to end up demanding less than what Jadeveon Clowney and Yannick Ngakoue are going to end up demanding. So I think Emmanuel Ogbah could probably be the most realistic edge rusher target than anybody on this whole entire list, simply for the fact that Tennessee will most likely feel a little bit more comfortable paying him since he's not going to demand as huge a salary like Ngakoue and Jadeveon Clowney are. So I think Emmanuel Ogbah will be a really good fit. And I know his stats don't really jump out to you. He only had 34 tackles, 5.5 sacks. But I mean, he missed a little bit of time last season for the Kansas City Chiefs, like I said, battling injuries. But when he is able to stay healthy, I think Emmanuel Ogbah is a guy that can have double-digit sacks, and I think he could end up being a Pro Bowler if he's able to stay fully healthy. So now moving on to the offensive side of the ball, I have offensive guard Brandon Scherff. Now, the Tennessee Titans offensive line was pretty solid last year. I do feel like they could use another offensive guard, and I think Brandon Scherff would be a really good addition. Now, Brandon Scherff is going to demand a huge salary. He's probably the best offensive guard hitting the free agent market, and he's really young. I think he's only like 26 or 27 years old. But I think Tennessee should be able to give Brandon Scherff the contract that he will want, I believe. I don't think Brandon Scherff's contract is going to be too much out of the world. I think it should be pretty affordable. And if the Tennessee Titans are able to get Brandon Scherff, whoo! This might end up being one of the better offensive lines in the NFL, man. Brandon Scherff, if they're able to bring back Jack Conklin, this offensive line for the Tennessee Titans might be one of the best offensive lines in football if they're able to get Brandon Scherff and bring back Jack Conklin. Now, the chances of that happening are really low, but I do think that Tennessee should look to target the offensive guard in free agency or in the draft. And I think Brandon Scherff will be a pretty good way to go, simply for the fact that he's probably the best offensive guard entering free agency. Now, he is going to demand a pretty heavy salary since he's so young and he's really good as well, but I do think it should be pretty affordable as well. I think he'll probably end up asking for something around $40 million, $50 million, or somewhere around that range, maybe a little bit less. Maybe you can get away with paying him like a $35 million contract or something like that, but I do think Tennessee will have no cap space to give him the contract that he probably would want, or at least give him a competitive offer that he will probably end up considering Tennessee, man. So I think Brandon Scherff would be a really good addition for the Tennessee Titans if they're able to give him the contract or work something out. And the last player that I think the Tennessee Titans should target is tight end Eric Ebron. Now, Eric Ebron had a really big drop-off from the season that he had prior, when he ended up being an All-Pro. He had 31 receptions, 375 receiving yards, and only 3 touchdowns. But a big reason for his drop-off in production was the fact that the season prior in 2018, he was really good in the red zone, man. A lot of his touchdowns came inside the red zone. But this season, Indianapolis really struggled moving the ball. Well, they didn't struggle moving the ball down the field, but their offense wasn't really that good because they had Jacoby Brissett and Andrew Luck ended up retiring. So I think that was a big reason for his drop-off. But pair him up with a quarterback, well, and the system that Tennessee runs. Tennessee could really use a good red zone weapon like Eric Ebron. He's a really good weapon inside of the red zone. And like we saw back in 2018, man, when he has a legitimate quarterback, or at least an okay quarterback, he can do a lot of damage inside the red zone, man. So I think Tennessee would be a very good fit for Eric Ebron. Not only is he just a good red zone weapon, he's also good in the vertical passing game as well. He's a guy who can make a lot of big, deep passing. He can catch a lot of those big 50-50 balls for you in the passing game if you want to try to stretch the field. Now, he isn't the fastest guy to stretch the field or anything like that, but ideally he is a good fit for a team that's really good in the red zone, that's looking for a good red zone target, and I think the Tennessee Titans would be a perfect fit for him. So let me know what you guys think about these free agent targets down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to comment who you guys think the Tennessee Titans should look to go after in free agency. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.